members, meaning
My niece.
Matt McCabe, Nicole, Chris, Julie, Caitlin, correct?
Yes.
And I think you mentioned Tristan was there as well?
Yes.
You were later joined by Nick and Karina Kolakithis, is that right?
Yes.
Ultimately, Brian Higgins showed up
Yes.
and Brian Albert showed up.
Yes.
You previously indicated that Caitlin's boyfriend, Tristan, left early for whatever reason. He had errands to run or had to get to bed early for some reason, is that right?
He left before us, yes.
So he didn't stay through the shank of the evening?
Through the what?
The shank of the evening, through the course of the evening.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And ultimately, at the waterfall, John O'Keefe and Miss Reed showed up as well.
Yes.
You didn't see any tension at all between John O'Keefe and Karen that night, did you?
No, I didn't.
They appeared to be getting along?
Yeah. Yes.
Sort of a normal couple having a nice evening out together?
Yes.
Neither John nor Karen Reed appeared drunk or inebriated, out of sorts?
No, I wouldn't categorize them as drunk or inebriated.
And not.
But again, I don't know what the definition of drunk is.
Well, that's a fair statement. I'm
Yeah.
not asking for their BAC, but they didn't appear to be stumbling around, falling all over themselves and sloppy drunk, correct?
No.
They then asked you, did you contact anyone else other than Matt and Karen?
Correct.
And you said no. Is that correct?
At that moment, I said no. Yes.
No.
At that moment, because they had just come in my house.
Only one person can talk at a time.
You said the word no.
She was finishing her answer.
She's defending her.
Every report that dealt with an interview of Jennifer McCabe, from whatever police officer it was or trooper, is wrong. Didn't document what she said properly, right? Because she didn't say, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. She questioned, do you think I hit him? Could I have hit him? She said it in those manners because in the grand jury, she testified to that in the grand jury. She never said in the grand jury, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. That said, okay, before you go testify, the prosecutor is going to bring you in a couple days before you testify, and he's going to sit you down and do what's called a trial prep. So she should have been given her grand jury minutes to read, her testimony from the grand jury, back at the first trial. She doesn't have anything. If she went to the grand jury defense, she should have been given that as well.
Yeah, agree.
To prepare herself. At the prep, the district attorney is going to give you the questions they're going to pose to you so that you can formulate your answers.
You ultimately called these officers back, correct?
Yes.
And you explained to them that you had been untruthful with them, correct?
I explained that I had forgotten to mention a couple of people that I had reached out to.
You had forgotten. Is that your testimony?
Yes.
You had forgotten. You remembered Matt and you remembered Carrie, but you had forgotten the others that you had just contacted maybe 30 minutes before.
Yes.
There were 5 people that you contacted, weren't there?
I contacted Matt.
Let's go through them. I'm just asking yes or no. You know them?
I know 4 off the top of my head.
Okay, let's go through them.
Okay.
You contacted your husband, correct?
Yes.
You contacted Carrie Roberts, correct?
Yes.
You contacted Peggy O'Keefe, correct?
Yes.
Then, Ms. McCabe, you contacted the district attorney's office, correct?
My witness advocate.
The district attorney's office.
My witness advocate who works
Miss-
for the district attorney's office.
Thank you, Ms. McCabe.
Yes.
And you also left out that you contacted Brian Albert himself, correct?
Yes, my brother-in-law.
For some reason, your brother-in-law, who's the 30-year Boston police detective, correct?
Yes.
And on whose lawn John O'Keefe was found dead or dying. Objection.
I'll allow that.
Correct?
Yes.
For some reason, you did not want these officers to know that you had communicated specifically with Brian Albert, the homeowner, just before you talked to them. Correct?
No, incorrect.
There was some reason that was important enough for you to lie about that, even though you had been admonished that it's a crime to lie about that to those officers, correct?
Incorrect. I didn't lie to them. I had forgotten who I had called.
And all of a sudden you had an epiphany right after they walked out the door?
Yes. Matt said, who have you spoken to?
Objection.
She testified possibly in a federal grand jury. She testified in a state grand jury. She testified last trial.
Right.
Okay. Now she's coming to this trial. And her testimony, she says she was not prepped. She was not giving questions. She was not prepared. They didn't bounce things off each other. Is this subordination of perjury by the prosecutor? Because if she's up there perjuring herself, lying, and he knows, either took courses on how to testify, or she was trained by somebody, or he prepped her and gave her questions and then prepped her about what the defense is going to do. There's no way that he would be allowed, it'd be misconduct on his part, not to prep the witness. And she should have had the testimonies from both grand juries, the testimony from the last trial. So she should have been able to have read through all of that before she gets on the stand. And she should know the questions that he, the prosecutor, is going to pose to her.
Yeah, when she sat and looked at those 220 some odd pages, she looked at the defense attorney, Alan Jackson. She was like, I'd have to read through all of this.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's where another case where I think she perjured herself. She should have read
before.
That's right. And she did this in the last trial. She did the same bit in the last trial about the grand jury testimony being that long.
You can't explain, lady.
After you gave that answer to those law enforcement officers at that separate law enforcement agency, they asked you, was there anyone else that you contacted in that 10-minute period before we got a chance to talk to you? And your answer was no, correct?
Correct.
And that was a lie, correct?
It wasn't a lie, no.
Was it true? Was it the truth or a lie?
It wasn't a lie.
Okay, so it was the truth. You had not spoken to any other person between the time they contacted you telephonically and you said, I need 10 minutes, and then they came in the door. During that part of time, you didn't talk to anybody else or contact anybody else other than Matt McCabe, Carrie. Now you're testifying. That is a true statement.
I can't answer that yes or no.
And Ed, why can't she answer that yes or no?
Because she knows she spoke to 5 people. It is a lie. Or technically it's a lie. Okay? Yeah, it's a lie. And for those of you who said AJ didn't impeach her, he just did. He impeached her.
He totally.
Now the jury, all the jurors know she lied to the FBI, although they never used the FBI, the other law enforcement agency. Okay? She is now not credible. She said she went to the window, she out of the door, she looked, and the car was gone. Did you see the body? Did you see John O'Keefe lying on the lawn, on the front yard? The car was gone, right? You looked in that direction. You looked in all these positions that the vehicle was that you saw them in the past. And the car is gone. Did you see John O'Keefe laying by the flagpole on the ground in the front yard? And she had to eventually say no. She didn't see it.
It's not a lie? Is there some shade of lie?
It's the way you're asking the question. If I could explain,
let me ask
it will make more sense to you.
I'm not the one that testified that there was no body on the front lawn after she saw the car leave, after the car left. She said that, okay? Her testimony in the grand jury says she didn't say, I hit him. She said, do you think I hit him? Could I have hit him? Those were questions, okay? That said, I said, I practice science. I follow the leads. The science shows, the physics shows John O'Keefe was not hit by a car.